about the sixes. I'm not the only person that's ever figured this out. There's a couple people on YouTube that's actually put some sixes together. All right, I understand where they're coming from. It all makes sense. It's almost like square squared. It's like E equals MC squared in a way. But it's an astronomical measurement. The sixes with carbon. We are carbon-based life forms. We are man. Okay? Either we are the beast, or we are going to build several of these beasts, and they are going to destroy the world, as they've done before. This is where the cataclysms came into hand. This kind of energy and power is what destroyed the world before, because it altered the weather. It messed with nature, like we do now. This operates kind of similarly to HARP when it comes to the ionosphere, okay? But it was on a more grand scale. They had this going around the world. On the 33rd and parallel, that are all of them are 6,666 miles apart, or kilometers apart, ironically, it all adds up to 6. It always adds up to 6, and I believe these were the beasts of this time. Now, ironically, Alpha and Omega, it all ties into religion and stuff, and Moses and the pyramids and the Pharaoh and all that, yada, 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 but I'm just saying, there's connections there. Those are all connections. You can't just disregard all this stuff, like people, like scientists want to do. But if they were smart scientists, and that's bad scientists, that's bad science altogether if you want to do that. You can't exclude anything. You got to consider things. You have to consider everything but believe nothing, okay? And when you do this, you will consider it. You can make your own connections until you find some kind of viable connection that makes sense. Once you do this, then you can consider it fully, and you can make connections instead of excluding it before you even figure anything out about it. That's like making a judgment call before you know shit. Now, ironically, like I was saying about predicting things, I predicted this void almost a year, at least 8 months to a year, before they even found it, because I knew that this thing had to have some kind of resonance chamber. Okay, it had to. And like I was saying, when you put things together to figure things out, I only predict this stuff because I'm able to, and everyone's able to do this, okay, to use the information we have to figure something out. Okay, that's all I did. See, as it's a radio transmitter and receiver, a crystal radio receives energy, okay? This capacitor would be the Ark capacitor, the Ark of the Covenant, okay? There's the capacitor. That's the Ark of the Covenant. They have the same parts. All of them, it has the same parts. It's just a different kind of diagram, okay? That's the only difference. This is a Tesla coil, which is a transmitter. This is a crystal radio, which is a receiver. This thing was literally a crystal radio, a Tesla coil, and a thermoelectric generator. But it had a smaller thermoelectric generator inside it. Okay? So you use solid state physics for arc, okay? Then you use that, because it's a superconductor, then you use a bigger superconductor around it to be able to transmit that energy. God, I wish I had the money to put one of these together. I could totally... God. I'm putting this out there for the world to be able to... If somebody sees this and has the money and they're like, man, that's a good idea. I want to put one of those together. And they break and make some kind of discovery, some great discovery, then, hey, that's awesome. We finally figured it out. But look, it's a pyramid socket 9131. How ironic, because it looks just like a motherboard. And motherboards have a socket CPUs, okay? Most of them have socket CPUs. In fact, all of them do. They used to have slots, but they reverted to socket because the slot became kind of redundant. They weren't exactly all that great, which the Pentium 2, ain't gonna lie, with 100 megahertz bus and 133 bus wasn't too bad. And like I was saying about 369, that's 18. That's 6 times 3. That's 3 sixes. There's 18. How many times is how old is our galaxy? Our galaxy is literally 18 cosmic years old. Now, ironic, look at this. 6.666 galactic years ago, eukaryotes appear. What is a eukaryote? That is what we are. That's the alpha and omega. That's where you have two gametes become one. Okay, your alpha and your omega become one cell. Okay, how ironic. 6,000 or 6.666 galactic years ago this happened. Okay, that's how many times our galaxy is literally 18 galactic years old. That's how many times our solar system has went around in a circle. So there's your eukaryotes. All of those on the 33rd and parallel, all of the pyramid structures and megalithics that created energy or whatever are all that far apart. Okay, I'm just going to throw this out there too. An up and a down quark together are 6.9. An alpha particle's mass is 6.6. A Planck constant, 6.6. A quark, there's 6 of them. There's 6 leptons. There's 6 bosons. A benzene ring in a cell is C6H6. All right? Hydrogen, helium, lithium. That's 6. Cells blastocyst in 6 days. Okay? Of course, a minute is 60 seconds. An hour is 60 minutes. 6 times 4 is 24 hours, which 4 and 2 equals 6. Of course, then you have, the Star of David or whatever you want to consider, with the 6 hexagons and stuff. Moses' tabernacle, if you add up the numbers with the 45, the 15, and 15, you get 966. Okay, a third of a day, a third of 9 is, a third of 9 is 6. Or 3, my bad. Okay, Uranus' surface, -6, 6, 6. Same for Neptune. Saturn's a 6th planet. Planet's 6-sided hexagon at the North Pole. The diameter of the moon is 6 times 6 times 60. Alright, now I'm just going to throw this out there with the 108 because it all ties into 108 also. Stonehenge is 108 foot in diameter. The Chinese with their 108 to reach wisdom or whatever. This 108 is to reach this wisdom, enlightenment. Hello, it's like I said, it all ties in together. Okay, 108 times 20. With this leap year, 2160. With the leap year, 366, 108, which is another 6. When you add this 15 here, you get 6. So the 108, as we know with the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun, all the 108's there. Earth's velocity with the 66,600, the curvature of 1 mile, 666 feet. Earth's tilt, 66.6. Speed of sound is 666 knots per second. Gravity force, 666 newtons. Earth's circumference is 600 times 6 times 6 nautical miles. The distance to the moon is 6 times 60 times 666. 666 chakra, center of the soul, radiates into 8 separate ways or rays. This would be basically the Higgs field, or a swastika, ironically. Let's see. 108 paths to God. RFM broadcasting, I just kind of threw that in there because it was ironic, because radium is 88. Radium, that's a radio transmitter. It's a good source of alpha particles, ironically, too, when you need alpha particles. And 108 megahertz. Okay? The 108 Tibetan holy books, the 108 acres, the Vatican. The firstborn is used 108 times in the Bible. 27 constellations times 4 in 4 directions is 108, covers the whole sky. Okay, so 6 times 144, remember 144,000 will be spared. Well, 6 times 144 is 864,000. That's the exact diameter of the sun, ironically. So how is all this, how am I making any of this up is what I want to know. People call me crazy, but I want to know how I'm crazy, because all of this are all facts. All of it's fact. So how am I crazy if I made this up? I didn't make any of it up. That's the whole point. It's this connection that either science doesn't see or they are purposely overlooking and suppressing, because this destroyed us before. This is the beast that destroyed us. Okay, our epochs are divided in 750 million years. 750 million times 6 equals 4.5 billion. How ironic. That's the age of the earth. Noah being 600 years old, man being created on the 6th day, the earth supposedly being 6,000 years ago is when, or old, but that's when Moses received the 10 Commandments, It took 6 days to create earth, like the blastocyst when it comes to cells. After 6 days, that's when it moves to the uterus and spreads and grows and all of that good stuff. You got the speed of light, 670,616,629, that's another 666. Carbon-based life forms, protons, neutrons, electrons, 666. I mean, I'm not making this up. I've just managed to have an obsession for the past, ever since I was 5 years old for the Ark of the Covenant. And then having that obsession has literally led me to figure out everything I've figured out over the past 32, 33 years. And like with the Georgia Guidestones, as I put that video up, it's all 6s. There's 6 stones, 18.6 lunar declination cycle. The coordinates equal 900. Okay, 960, the 369. It's all divisible by 6. It's all 6s. you know, R is 18. That's 6 times 3. Okay, that's R for Rose. Cross, 3. And Christian, 9. So if you got 4, 9, 9, that's 18. That's 666. Ironically, Rose, Cross, Christian. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not making this stuff up. These are all things that I don't think anybody's ever realized. And some people have. About, I'd say 4 or 5 people have, including me. So I guess all 4 or 5 of us are crazy on this planet. Or we are kind of enlightened and we see something that a lot of other people aren't seeing, and we're trying to give that to the world because, unlike the government and the Catholic churches, we believe people have the right to know.